Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day so far and welcome to today's video where it looks like Christmas has come early for me. I have the two brand new VISEART palettes. We're going to be trying them out, swatches, a demo and all of my thoughts on these two bad boys. This is looking very wicked coded, isn't it? Well, almost purple instead of pink, but we're halfway there. So if you want to see Sireneuse Nocturne Etendue and Violette Nocturne Etendue in action, then you've come to the right place. Without further ado, let's get started. Oh, the way these arrived, packaged absolutely stunningly. It's really hurting me to unwrap these. I don't want to. Absolutely gorgeous. These made my day when they came through my letterbox. I want every single piece of makeup arriving through my door like this from now on, please. Is that so much to ask? Okay, so we have two new palettes. These are the Etendue sort of mini palettes that are so popular for VISEART. Just the perfect diddy little size. Bang for your buck, but in a compact travel size. We get 9 shadows in each of these. So the description for Sireneuse Nocturne Etendue is: born of tempest-wrought dreams, Sireneuse Nocturne Etendue sails on starlit seas of maritime mattes and duochromatic depth. Sireneuse Nocturne is a sea-spun spell of silk, smoke and shimmer. Pardon. And Violette Nocturne Etendue is described as a legacy reborn in nocturnal midnight bloom. Inspired by Paris on the cusp of winter, Violette Nocturne Etendue summons moon-kissed plums, noir-stained mulberries, and silken mauves. Smoke, shadow, and myth unfurl in every shade. I'm going to need a lie down after this. Let's unwrap them together. Oh my, as stunning as I was expecting. I'm very excited for this one. This is right up my street with those earthy tones, some green, gorgeous. Next up we have Violette. And here is Violette, absolutely stunning, beautiful, muted, mauvey purple tones, very wearable. I should definitely have worn less snug jumpers today. Sireneuse up first, top row. Just to confirm, these are one swirl, one swipe swatches on bare skin. To put this last shade up here, I've run out of room. Okay, and there we have Sireneuse Nocturne Etendue. I cannot wait to get this on my eyeballs. And now we have Violette Nocturne Etendue. I'm going to try and do these a bit closer together so we don't need a spare arm. Top row. Middle row. Oh, the tones of these shadows is really appealing to me. I think we did a little better with the spacing on this arm. It's so hard doing swatches when you cannot see what you're doing. And there we have Violette. Oh, so pretty and understated, muted mauvey palette. Ideal for every day. Okay, so there you have all of the swatches. Let's dive into a demo and try both of these palettes out on these two eyeballs right here. So a couple of things to note if you're not familiar with VISEART palettes. There is, once you have opened the external box, which does feature all of the shade names on the back, you don't have the name, so I'm just going to be pointing to shadows because the names are not on here, and there is also no mirror inside, so bear that in mind. They're perfect for travel. Apart from that reason, I wish they had a mirror, but you know, they don't, so deal with it. Or don't, you know. your choice. So I'm going to start off with Sireneuse Nocturne. I've got my Reve Shodo 04 brush. Again, I know I've been telling you guys about this, but Reve does have a belting sale on right now as we speak. The blendability of VISEART's mattes will never not surprise me. It's just so effortless. Two seconds and we're done. Same brush, and I'm going to, I'm tempted, I'm going to go into this sort of forest green matte on the bottom because I do want to make this a greeny look, but I do want to keep it not sort of too green, if that makes any sense to anyone but me. I do like a lovely glorious green eyeshadow, but I like it quite muted, and this is the perfect palette for that, I feel, because it's got so many muted options. You've got some neutral mattes, and that always helps keep a look a bit more understated when you're using colour. If the mattes and the transitional shades are neutrals, it sort of tones down how green it is and just makes it a bit easier to wear for every day and a bit less sort of challenging, you know, to pair blush and lip products with. Okay, well, there's absolutely no chance I'm using this palette and not diving into these green shades. So I'm going to start off with my Reve 02 and this almost chartreuse slightly green shade on the bottom. Definitely got a bit of gold reflect in there, really pretty. Again, understated. I'm using these shadows, as always, dry brushes, dry shadows, and applying on set concealer. So this is sort of as subtle as these shadows will be. You know, you can, of course, use these on an eyeshadow primer, a proper eyeshadow primer. If you're a real makeup artist, that's what you would do. Or, of course, you could use a bit of setting spray to dampen up a brush if you want to get the most out of the shimmers. Okay, and now I'm swapping over to my Reve 21 and I'm beside myself to dip into this stunning green. Oh, that's exactly what I was hoping it would look like. I did feel a little bit of rain on the cheek area then, definitely got a little bit of fallout from that shadow. Nothing crazy. Yeah, definitely some fallout here from that shadow, but like I said, nothing crazy. And I do typically always do my eyes first, except for when I'm filming a review, because I just want to see exactly what the shadow is doing. So I'm going to use my Sonia G T5 now, and I'm going to dip into this matte and just give that outer V a bit of depth into the crease. Trying not to do too much because I am taking my daughter to dance class later and I'm going to look bonkers already because my two eyes are going to be completely different area codes, but what are you going to do? And then I'm going to take that first matte that we used and just run a little of that under that lower lash line, and bingo bongo. I almost want to use a bit of this pink, this matte shade under my brow, because I definitely, oh, that's perfect. I definitely brought the mattes, the transitional shades, too high. It was before I moved my mirror and I couldn't really see what I was doing, if I'm being really honest. I didn't think that that shade would be light enough to brighten my brow, but it absolutely is, which is perfect. So this is the first look with Sireneuse Etendue. It's perfect, to be honest. It's exactly what I was hoping for, and I think what VISEART do so perfectly is they give us gorgeous colour stories that are uber wearable for every day of your life, and that's exactly what we've got here. We've got this gorgeous muted green that is so pretty, and it's not just a neutral eye look, but you could easily wear this absolutely anywhere, to the office, in the daytime, on a school run, and it would never look, you know, really crazy, but it's still so eye-catching and pretty and beautiful. gorgeous. I might just grab my Builder S from Sonia, and I'm really tempted just to put a little of this pinky frosty pink in a corner to really have that pop. And just use an extra shade. You want to get as many in as possible. That shade really reminds me of MAC's Pink Freeze, which I went through like 15 of the single MAC Pink Freezes when I was at school. Delightful. Definitely had some fallout here. I've tried to dust away and it's definitely instead, you know, just turned into sparkleness, but not cross about it. Okay, so moving on to Violette Nocturne Etendue. I mean, I could literally whack my brush in any of these shadows and have a good time. But I think what I'm going to do is stay as mauvey as possible. So I'm going in here first. I feel like, you know, if you want this palette, you want it for those mauvey tones, don't you? And I love mauves. You know, I'm fussy about pinks and purples. These are my jam. They're just so smoky, and that sort of muted smoky purples are right up my street. Again, just blending like an absolute dream, as if I barely did a thing. I'm tempted by the aubergine, but also terrified by it. I think what I'm going to do is go in here instead. By the way, I'm still with my Shodo 04. That is perfect. What a combo. Very cheeky. But I do miss a mirror with these palettes. You know, I have to bring my sort of handheld. Sorry if I blinded you. You know, I have to bring my handheld just to sort of see what I'm doing, because the mirror I'm looking at the moment has to be out of the way of the camera, so it's quite far. And typically I would use the palette's mirror, so I do miss having a mirror in these palettes. Okay, it's very hard to choose between these shadows. I'm desperately drawn to this one, but then the shift in this shadow, I'm going in here. I'm so sorry about it. I'm going in here. I know some of you will be screaming, no, pick me, pick the other one. But I can't refuse it. It's literally screaming my name, this sort of taupey gunmetal that goes so well with mauvey tones, this sort of shadow. And I'm going to, don't panic, I'm going to go into that shifting shadow. Let me just clean my brush. I've got my Sonia G brush cloth. And we're going into that shifting shadow in the middle. Ooh, see, those two shades work so beautifully together. They really melt together so prettily. Gorgeous. Quite a lot of fallout on this side, just you have been warned. And now Reve 21, this bad boy. There's not a lot of shimmers in here. I think there's only 3. It's mostly mattes, so bear that in mind. This shadow is so interesting because it literally looks white in the pan, but then it's this stunning violet with a sort of white shift. So pretty. And I'm also sort of tapping that over the centre, which is really sort of bringing it to life. Delightful. Lower lash line, I'm going to dip into here again. Quite a bit of fallout on this side versus this eye. By the way, lower lash line brush is the Sonia Tissue collab. And then for inner corner, I'm going to go for the lightest matte. And I'm going to pop that under that brow as well. The fallout on this side dusted away much easier, so it's essentially gone now, which is a win. And here we have the 2 finished looks, both very VISEART to me. You know, they both are just so pretty and elegant and muted and soft, but eye-catching at the same time. Understated, pretty, gorgeous quality. The mattes of VISEART have always been exceptional. They blend so effortlessly and they work together so stunningly as well. The shades always complement each other so stunningly, the shimmers as well. And it's just so seamless. Both looks just gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. I think if I had to pick a favourite, it's got to be the greens. You know me, I love a green. And I think this is stunning. Understated, beautiful, wearable greens, not intimidating. Let's pop some mascara on and check out the finished look with mascara. Okay, so here are the finished looks with mascara. I used the Hourglass extensions mascara, but a reminder that in every single one of my videos, all the makeup I'm wearing will be in the description box for you. So here are these finished looks from these two new VISEART palettes. Do you have a favourite? Mine has got to be the green. Are you more of a purple kind of person? Let me know in the comments. Okay guys, so this went exactly as I expected that it would. The quality of the shadows is stunning. As always with VISEART, beautiful colour combinations and that stunning, muted, elegant, sophisticated looks that VISEART are so good at giving to us, but in such a pretty, impactful way. You know that I love really over-the-top, impactful shadows. I love my Pat McGrath special shades, for example, Danessa Myricks palettes, and I often feel a bit underwhelmed by the likes of Chanel and Dior that are really subtle and just lack enough oomph for me from shadows. VISEART sort of falls in the middle. They manage to give me shadows that I, you know, do a look with, and they might be less impactful and over the top, shimmery, sparkly than the likes of Pat McGrath, but they still have beautiful impact that is not there. It's not lacking. It doesn't leave me feeling like I'm missing something. It just is the perfect everyday wearable amount of impact, and it's just so pretty. The color is just blends together so seamlessly and it all melds together so beautifully that I just love these little palettes so much. They're such a perfect little size for travel as well. My one complaint is the mirror. I wish they had mirrors in. I really miss having a mirror, especially as these are so travel friendly, and often when we're traveling we don't have a makeup handy or where you would want it or the size, so having a mirror in here would be the cherry on the top for me. That's the only negative I can say about them. They're gorgeous, the perfect size, perfect timing, a little gift to yourself or someone else at Christmas. I love them both. My favourite has got to be the Sireneuse Nocturne though. It's just my cup of tea. These wearable, everyday, sort of foresty greens and beautiful neutrals, khakis, all those sort of gorgeous, earthy tones just really do it for me. I also personally prefer the ratio of shimmers to mattes. In here we've got 50-50 shimmers to mattes, whereas in the Violette we only have 3 shimmers, these 3 diagonally across from each other here, and then 9 mattes. So if you are more of a matte person, then Violette is going to be perfect. The shimmers are perfect. They give you everything you need as far as the colours, but I love a bit more variation when it comes to shimmers, so the ratio just suits me better in the Sireneuse. But there you have it. Those are all of my thoughts on these 2 brand new palettes from VISEART. Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Do you care about a mirror? Is that just me? Which of these is your favourite? Are you drawn particularly to Violette or to Sireneuse? Please let me know in the comment section down below. But thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, and I would love to see you in the next one. Otherwise, take care for now. Bye.